Hi, and welcome to your PPP number 8. My name is Estelle, and you're here in Chic West. We are welcoming all kinds of new Chic Westers this month. So exciting to our circle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. These small videos kind of format are meant to support you on your quest, and I hope they do. They are called PPP because of my PPP philosophy: permission, passion, peace. Permission's a big piece in Chic West, passions is a big piece in Chic West, and peace is a big piece in Chic West. These videos also are just a way for me to share what's going on with me right now in my soul path. And also, it's a way for me to answer your questions. And I always leave with food for thought, kind of what I feel right now, what I get sometimes on my emails, what I'm sensing kind of intuitively what's going on with the group and things like that. So welcome for today. I want to talk about my own quest, what's coming up for me after the holidays. We are beginning a new year. I want to talk to you about my word, my intention for this year, and also for the next 4 months at Chic West. We love to know our whys here at Chic West, and when we welcome new members, it's a great time to reset this because we evolve as being. Why you were doing Chic West 4 months ago is not the same as why you are doing it today, now. And it's nice to revisit that and reclaim that and kind of see where we are right now after all this work that we've been doing for the past months. So I want to talk about the painting meditation, the 100-day of painting meditation that we are starting. You get access through the art channel, but really, as I will mention, it's like my own study into something called the Radiance Sutra and the radiant body in yoga. And so that's really exciting for a yoga geek like me. And I have a feeling there's lots of yoga geeks in here, or mindfulness geeks, or people that know that the body is not just physical, it's not just mental. There's more to it than that, which I often refer to as your inner spark. Okay? I want to tell you that the Oracle card this month is Earthly, Marvelous Earthly Mama card. So if there was going to be a card you would sit and do your practice on, this one would be the one in the Oracle deck. This one is in the Mama deck. And lastly, I want to talk about what Chic West isn't. I feel I always kind of say what Chic West is, and I never say what it isn't. And also, I will share in this PPP my new little manifesto, and that one changes as well. I'm letting it unfold, adding things, subtracting things, and I wrote it during the holidays, my Chic West manifesto, so I will share it in the show notes of this PPP. Should be a short one because I would love, if you're watching this and you're a new member, that you go and watch PPP number 1. Would be essential watch. In it, I share 7 fundamental keys for successful questing. And I think it will really, really help you. I love you. Let's begin this new video. Yeah. Okay, so first, how am I doing? I'm great. I feel full of energy. I know sometimes like people kind of say, this new year, whatever. Like I get renewed energy at New Year's. Like I feel it's like a thing. I love the holidays, but I love what I do so much. So I love to get back in a routine as well. I am starting, so exciting, 112 days of painting meditation. I hope that you join. Painting might not be your jam through Chic West, and that's fine. And for you, I'm actually going to have bonus art exercise if you'd rather not join the 112 days of painting. But I'm doing it inspired from a book that's called the Radiance Sutras. That book is inspired by old yoga texts. And I usually do 100 days of painting every year, and that's usually around spring that the program has been happening. But this year I decided, you know what, I want to do my 100-day project. Instead of bunch it all in spring, I want to do it throughout the year And so it ends up being about 9 paintings a month. And I'm really excited for me, it's like entering a gate of wonder and delight and awe through art. And another thing more on a personal note, my son changed school, and that has been a bit of a grieving process for me. He was going to French school. If you don't know, I'm French. I was born in Quebec. And it was kind of like my thing that I had with him, It was like our little relationship, like he was going to French school, and I love that for just the culture aspect, like my family is from France and stuff. So, but we had him do some tests, and he's behind in reading, like very much behind. He has a learning disability. And so we were recommended to put him in full English, which we have. So he started midway through the school. So that was like a big thing that happened, I guess, over the holidays. And I had a good cry about it, like before Christmas, where I was like, I thought it was like, I don't know, he was like gonna lose part of me, when it was very selfish in a way. Like now that I look back and I'm like, of course, like I want it, like, at the end of the day, it's school experiences for him and it's not for me. But it was like the French aspect that I was really kind of sad that, he's going to lose. And, but really, he's not losing me through that. And I just had to come through that. And I'm sharing this with you because I think a big thing in Chic West is that soul work. Like that was a big soul thing for me, that experience, and a big transition for all of us as a family. And it was like, I was grieving the fact that he wasn't going to go to French high school and he wasn't going to speak French probably. Maybe he will, if I, and maybe he will take it up. But it was that I was grieving, more like the life that we would have been if he would have been and our routine too. Like we had like a nice set routine, and that was all going to change. And so I'm going through that transition now. I usually share what Chic West is. I want to share what Chic West isn't, because one of the big things that happen, I think, that I've heard, once you start a new thing, you're all gung-ho and excited, and you go on the platform and you just get there's so much there. I mean, when you think about my art channel and the yoga channel, it's like my library of like all the classes I've ever done. And it's meant to be like this because in one of the podcasts with Vanessa, I forget her last name, but she was, it was our voice podcast from last month. There was a beautiful moment where she was like, I was asked to choose something and I didn't know what I liked. I was asked to choose something and I didn't know what I liked. And for her, it was like she was asked by a teacher, what songs would you like to sing? And she had no idea because she had always been told what to sing. And that was a huge awakening moment for her. So what Chic West isn't, I hope that makes sense. What Chic West isn't, I'm not going to fix you. I'm not going to tell you what to do or not to do on there. I'm sorry if I sound bossy, but I know there is a lot, but that's all for your advantage. So if you're just new to membership, why not just start in just January and start where it's going to be the most active for all members. And that being said, like all the other modules are there to, again, just support. Like if you're really interested about Menstruation Awareness Month, go back to In the Flow Month. If you're really interested about the Goddess Saraswati, that's what we did last month, go back to that. It gets confusing because one thing I don't like about the platform is that you have that button, mark and complete, which I know some of you guys love to have that because you're like, oh yeah, done. But soul work doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Sometimes it requires us to do things that we do not feel like doing. But it requires us to pick and choose what works and what doesn't. If you've been on the call with me, and there's one coming up this Sunday, what's the first question I always ask? What's working? What's not working? So, I'm not going to pick the things that work for you You got to explore, you got to play. And by the way, play is my word this year. I think we forget that we're in Chic West because it's fun. It's supposed to be fun, which leads me to my next thing, my second thing. Is that Chic West not meant to be overwhelming? Chic West, it would defy the whole purpose. But you got to try. You gotta, and that will require you to step out of your comfort zone. And there's a part like I can't do for you. I'll give you a paper that says it will require from you to do an attention audit, to be like, okay, like how many, if I don't have time to Chic West, that I really want to do Chic West, right? If I'm in here, like I really want to do it. I might not feel like it. I will never feel like it. And maybe you want to revisit the PPP number 1. Got all this in place, but in the end, you're the one that make it work. It's hard in this way, in that, I'm here and I'm supporting you, but ultimately you get out of Chic West what you put into Chic West. And it's not meant to be overwhelming. It's meant to ignite your passion. It's meant to, but you need to give yourself permission. And that's why my philosophy is always so great. I always revert back to it. You got to give yourself permission. Then the passion will come, and then you'll be at peace. But I can't do it for you. There's nothing to complete. Like Chic West is not like 100% you've completed that. That's not soul work. That's not how soul work. It's really self-directed. For you, you might not even touch once at the journaling. Like journaling is just not your jam. I hope you try it a few times. It's there for you to try. So then it wouldn't mean it doesn't mean you didn't complete it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that even if you use that, a Chic West success story for me is last summer I had a student tell me, she said, Estelle, your breath as power class saved my life this summer. That's the only thing I used in Chic West all summer, but it saved my life. For me, that's worth the investment you made. It saved your life for $148. It saved your life. Oh my God. This is worth it. For me, it's priceless. And whether you use Chic West once a month, whether the only thing you do is hop on the call, great. If you show up, another person could be like, I'm just going to do the journaling. I'm just going to do the 100 days of painting. Or some of you, I know a bit of everything kind of works. And then some of you are like, I'm going to do it every day. And other ones you're like, I just have time to do it on Sunday afternoon when, my husband takes the kids at the oval skating. I hope I'm making it clear here. There's nothing to complete in Chic West. It's for your soul, and your soul has no measure. It's not quantifiable thing. It's really, we're dealing about something so much more metaphorical, so much more abstract, and that's where the magic lie, even if you just notice these things about things, which leads me to my fourth thing. Enough with wanting to be perfect. So my mantra, my personal mantra leading into this year was, I am perfect as I am. I am perfect as I am. So one thing Chic West is not, we're not here to do more self-judgment. We're not here to criticize ourselves more. We're not here to it's not something, it's pile on all the other things that we need to do. Chic West is about cultivating ultimate compassion, mindful compassion for ourselves. And it's about putting on our oxygen mask, first before everybody else. And so we are not here to self-punish. And sometimes I feel we feel we're betraying ourselves because we're not giving ourselves that much time. But if you feel that, just become aware of that and sit with that. And for me, I had a really big awakening. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, where I was like, I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do, and that didn't sit well with me. And I wasn't doing the things I wanted to do because I was saying that I didn't have time, when in fact, they just weren't my priority. They just weren't my priority. And that's okay if like things aren't your priority. So it might require you to look at your bank account. It might require you to do what I call an attention audit, where it's like, how much hour you say you don't have time, but you're like on, you check your Facebook like 3 or 4 times a day or something. Like, I don't know. If you have time to be on Facebook, I think you have time to do this work. It's not easy work. It's hard work to, face your fears and, and take risk and, get out of your comfort zone and perhaps share and show your face on the Zoom calls. Like, it might require you to do things you've never done before. But I think you chose Chic West because I think you're ready. I think you're ready to jump and take your heart up and out into the world. So that's it. So I'm excited to have you on board. Any questions, you can either go on our Facebook community group on the platform where I'm the most active. I hope you like the content this month. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Bye!